Now, the royal family was out in force today, of course, for the national service of Thanksgiving for Her Majesty the Queen at St Paul's Cathedral. It marked the second day of Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Now, of course, we know that the Queen couldn't be there. It was confirmed last night she wouldn't attend after experiencing discomfort after yesterday's festivities and trooping the colours. So Prince Charles stepped into his mother's shoes to represent her, accompanied by Camilla, his wife. And, of course, Prince William and Kate joined them, and they sat in the front row for the event. Now, of course, all eyes were on Prince Harry and Meghan. The couple was greeted with a warm welcome from the crowd, making their first public appearance in the UK for 2 years. And I really thought that the message was loud and clear from today. Paul, it seemed to me that the message coming from the royal family and from the Queen herself was, with or without me, the show will go on, and this is what it's going to look like without me, which I found very poignant, but almost weirdly uplifting.
It was, wasn't it? Everybody knew their place. It was an impeccable performance from everyone, and I know that the Queen will be sat at Windsor Castle in the Oak Room watching this. She had it all in her hands before, of course. The Lord Chamberlain provided all the information to her. She knew where everyone was going to sit. So she sat with a master plan today at Windsor Castle with an overview.
You're making her sound a bit like a James Bond baddie.
She was sat like everyone around the country in her home watching this performance. And I think she'd been very pleased by it. I
was going to say, how pleased at the moment, we're halfway through the 4-day jamboree, how pleased do you think the royal family will feel, you know, as a PR exercise, as something which is obviously meant to promote them? Do you think they'll feel it's going well?
Yes, nothing's gone out of place yet. It's perfect. It's just as it was planned, except the Queen, of course, because she's not too well and she's sat comfortably at home. And why shouldn't she, at 96, sit back and watch it all happen in front of her and let her people, her family, take hold of the reins and let it happen, because we're watching the future of the monarchy unfold before our eyes.
Now, of course, I have to ask you about this pinned to your jacket. What's the medal?
Well, I never get a chance to wear this, but this is a special weekend. And this is the medal the Queen pinned to my chest in 1998, shortly after the Princess's death. And she said, I'm giving you this for service to me and Diana. It's the Royal Victorian Medal.
Well, how lovely. And I was reading sometime over the last few days, that as part of Jubilee, the royal staff have had a pay rise. They've had a 5% pay rise. And it made me think, how well paid is the royal household?
Not that well. My first wage in 1996 was £900 a year.
Oh, my Lord. Wow.
With a free bar of soap to keep us clean. Because cleanliness is next to godliness. A bar of soap and a packet of wash powder to wash your clothes. I'm not joking. It's the truth.
Soap and washing powder.
A bar of soap and a packet of wash powder every month.
Hold on, was that £900 a month?
A year.
A year?
A year.
Wow.
That is...
You do it for the glory and the service of Her Majesty the Queen.
Now, of course, we know that there was one couple that had issues with lots of elements of the royal household in the past, Harry and Meghan, of course, and they took matters into their own hands and left. And as I was saying earlier, this was the first big occasion that they've been back for since they left. It seemed to me that they stuck to the script today. I fear that you know, we were told to expect quite a low-key Harry and Meghan. We can see them there. She looked amazing in her Dior outfit. But other people were saying, well, it's outrageous. They weren't sitting next to William and Charles and so on. How did you think the day went as far as all eyes being on them?
I think, obviously, they were very aware of it. But like Paul has said, nothing has been out of place. I think they played it perfectly. You know, when they pulled up in the car, there was those cheers, but they had a little chat with the people outside, the priests outside. They went in. I think it's significant that they had their own procession. I think that shows that they are well loved within the royal family, but they're not working royals. They were sitting with other members of the family, but I think it's okay that actually they were sitting with Eugenie and sitting behind Kate and William and Camilla and Prince Charles, I think that's absolutely fine. You know, I think Meghan, like you said, looked gorgeous in Dior. They have their own possession. They said that they're going to keep it low-key this weekend. There's no Netflix cameras following them or anything like that. And I think they've played it perfectly. They haven't put a foot wrong so far.
Oh, I thought they were both very elegant, but at the same time, too, for the first time ever, I felt badly for them because he wasn't sat with his family, but it's also the family that he kind of betrayed. And I had really mixed emotions about it. I did feel sorry for them both, more for Harry.
I think the Queen's done it by the book,
Yeah.
actually. She's done it by order of precedence. The working members of the royal family sitting together, and then the rest. And Harry belongs to the rest now.
And that's the bed that he's made for himself
It is.
to lie in. So, you know,
Incidentally,
that's exactly where he should be, right?
Yeah, I think she looked wonderful, didn't she, today?
Yes, she did.
But she didn't look as spectacular as Kate. Kate looked as if she was about to step into a garden party or a royal ascot. She looked spectacular. She never puts a foot wrong. And Meghan was slightly underplayed, I thought.
But do you think that might have been deliberate? You know,
Yeah,
if
I
she'd
think
gone
so.
all guns blazing with the outfit,
yes.
everyone would have said she's trying to upstage everyone else. She's
think
in a
she did
really
the right thing.
difficult situation.
I absolutely think so. You know, you're absolutely right. She was understated. But I think it's kind of, you know, they've chosen not to be working royals. I think they're happy with that. You know, I think they're happy with where they were sitting. I think you're right that she was understated, still looked glamorous, still looked beautiful. I actually do think Kate looked amazing as well.
Yeah.
There was lots of great fashion on display. I think well done to them.
I don't think it was their choice to be in that place, though.
I
think
don't
they just had
either.
to- I think they had to be there. That's where they were going to be.
I don't.
And that was always going to be the way it was.
And Prince
So,
Charles
you know.
led the way, of course, representing his mother. That will be his role one day.
Absolutely.
So we have to get used to actually Prince Charles being out front with Camilla, and they will be king
And I
and
thought
queen.
he looked... You were saying this time yesterday that he'd looked emotional yesterday, and I
Yes.
thought he looked emotional
I did
again
too.
today. Oh, maybe that's just the way his face hangs these days. I don't know, but I thought he looked
No,
quite
I-
teary.
There's a
I
weight
think
on his
so.
shoulders, don't you think?
I think, yes, there's a weight on his shoulders, but also a sadness. I mean,
Yes.
the Queen wasn't by his side, and, you know, it is... it's kind of bittersweet.
Yeah.
It's
It feels like Thanksgiving
a wonderful
for-
occasion,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
she's not by his side, and that
And there
must
is-
be, you know...
It must be hard
soul
because, you know,
destroying
she is
for
his
him.
mother, after all, you know, and it's so that you can't forget that. I mean, Paul knows that better than anybody. It's a family at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And he's obviously going to be thinking, you know, this is probably the last big thing that we do for my mother.
Yeah, her place was missing. It was almost as if it was a Thanksgiving service for her life.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she wasn't
exactly.
there.
It was...
Right.
And there was a real element of poignancy, absolutely,
Yes.
for me today, that she wasn't there. And it's kind of giving us a vision of the future, of what's to come. Like, there's a new
Yeah.
Fab Four in town, right?
It's-
And it's
There is.
it's Camilla and
sad.
Charles
the
and
whole
Kate
thing,
and
I think,
William.
was so
I know.
sad because you know she's not feeling great, and she wasn't there, and just, you know, she was...
It was a slightly different atmosphere from yesterday, wasn't it? Because yesterday it was
was
really,
joyous.
you know,
Yeah. It was
joyous,
joyous.
and everyone was
But everyone
really
was so
filled
excited
with
to see
happiness,
her.
and she looked great. She looked amazing in that powder blue suit that she was wearing. And I suppose naturally there's a kind of natural come down from something like that.
Yeah,
you
of
can't feel
course.
euphoric all the
And-
time. can
absolutely.
you?
And the
the
bubble
ebbs
was
and
And maybe the
tomorrow.
weekend, and maybe it comes back tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow
No,
we feel better again.
I don't think so, because she won't be there, and I think that she will be so missed. And I think she will miss it too.
Also, we have to listen to Duran Duran as well. I'm not looking
But also,
forward to it.
Paul, one of the things that really struck me, the fact she didn't make it to church, is because if you understand the Queen at all, you understand how
Her deep faith.
deeply she feels her
Yes.
faith, and she doesn't, you know, as one of the bishops was saying today, she doesn't wear it on her sleeve, she wears it in her heart,
Yeah.
but it is so central to
It
her
is
being.
there all the time. I remember once we were mixing the dog food at the end of the corridor, feeding 9 corgis, and she turned to me and said something very poignant. She said, Paul, I swore an oath before God in Westminster Abbey to serve my country for as long as there's breath in my body, and that's what I intend to do. I heard it from the horse's mouth.
And is it true that she says prayers every night before bed?
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
traditional, you know, bedtime prayers. I think
Yes.
this is something
Oh,
people
I
don't
believe
understand
that,
about
sure.
her.
She's a
Yeah.
God-
She's a
God-fearing
very
woman.
religious woman, yeah.
Yes,
I
she
would
is.
believe that totally. I want to go and show the clip of the Archbishop talking about the Queen not being there.
Your Majesty, we are sorry that you're not here with us this morning. but we are so glad that you are still in the saddle. And we are glad that there is still more to come.
Oh, he's like a teddy bear, isn't he? He's sweet.
In the saddle, though?
In the saddle was considered a bit racy.
Well, she's been in the saddle all her life. I mean, she rode until 2 years ago, so
Yeah, which
great
is
horsewoman.
extraordinary.
Princess
Also-
Anne, I'm sure, had a little giggle when that came out.
Yeah.
She definitely did. But I love the fact also that that was the Archbishop of York who's deputising for the Archbishop of Canterbury because he's got pneumonia and COVID. And everyone said to him, "Are you just going to?" We knew that the Archbishop of Canterbury had already prepared his full sermon. He said, "Are you just going to read it out on his behalf?"
Yeah.
And he said, "No, I'm going to write my own."
Yeah.